Shadows over Hawthorne. Episode 8. Blood and Betrayal, previously in Shadows over Hawthorne. Detective Elliot Graves barely escaped the summoning of the Veiled One at St. Ilara's chapel. Armed with cryptic clues and haunted by warnings, Elliot now faces a deepening web of mysteries. The Silent Witness's notebook leads to new revelations, but the Order's reach grows stronger and more personal. The crimson mark Elliot's flat was silent, except for the steady ticking of the clock. He sat at his desk, the notebook open to the final page. Scrawled in faint, uneven handwriting were the words, "The blood of the marked shall seal the veil." He had seen those same words etched into the altar at St. Ilara's chapel. Below them was a symbol, a circle divided into 3 parts, pierced by a dagger. Before he could analyze it further, a faint knock startled him. Gun in hand, Elliot approached the door cautiously. Opening it, he found no one, but tied to the handle was a blood-red ribbon. Pinned beneath it was a card with a single word written in elegant script. Tonight. A familiar face. Elliot's search for answers led him to the old town square, where the fog clung to the cobblestones like a shroud. The clock tower loomed overhead, its hands frozen at midnight. Under the flickering gaslight, a figure waited. "Abigail," Elliot whispered. Abigail Thatcher, the historian who had helped him piece together the Order's history, stepped forward. Her pale face and shadowed eyes betrayed her fear. "You shouldn't be here," she said, her voice trembling. "They're watching." "Who?" Elliot demanded. "The Order?" "Abigail, what's going on?" "They know everything," she whispered. "About the Silent Witness, about you." Elliot's chest tightened. "Why are you telling me this now?" Tears filled her eyes. "Because they made me. They'll kill my family if I don't." Before Elliot could react, a sharp pain tore through his side. He looked down to see a dagger buried deep, Abigail's trembling hand on the hilt. "I'm sorry," she choked, backing away. "I had no choice." Elliot staggered back, clutching his wound, as Abigail fled into the fog. The betrayal revealed bleeding and disoriented, Elliot stumbled through the streets before collapsing against the door of an abandoned apothecary. Inside, he tore a strip of fabric from his coat and wrapped it around his wound, gritting his teeth against the pain. Abigail's betrayal cut deeper than the dagger. How long had she been working with the Order? Was everything she had told him a lie? As he rifled through the notebook for answers, a folded piece of paper slipped free. It wasn't the Silent Witness's handwriting. It was Abigail's. "I'm sorry. Find the house on Raven's Hollow. They're meeting there. Stop them. Please." Elliot's jaw clenched. Despite her actions, she had left him a clue. He had no choice but to follow it. The house on Raven's Hollow. The estate on Raven's Hollow loomed like a nightmare, its windows glowing faintly behind ivy-choked gates. Elliot crept toward the house, revolver drawn. Inside, the air was heavy with the scent of incense. Tapestries depicting ritual sacrifices lined the walls. In the main hall, hooded figures surrounded a table, murmuring in unison. On the table lay a blood-stained dagger and a book bearing the same symbol from the notebook. "The blood of the marked shall seal the veil," one figure intoned. Elliot stepped forward, revolver aimed. "Step away from the table!" The figures turned slowly, their faces hidden. One of them pulled back his hood, revealing a familiar face. "Henry?" Elliot's voice cracked. Henry Fuller, his trusted ally at the constabulary, smirked. "Ah, Detective Graves, always one step behind." Blood and revelation. Henry gestured to the table. "You were supposed to join us, Elliot, but you've made things complicated. The Veiled One demands a sacrifice." "Over my dead body," Elliot growled. Henry's smirk deepened. "That can be arranged." The hooded figures charged. Gunshots rang out as Elliot fought them off, blood spattering the walls in the chaos. Amid the melee, Henry lunged at Elliot with the dagger. The two grappled, their struggle spilling into an adjoining room. Elliot's hand found a candlestick, and he struck Henry across the temple, sending him crashing to the floor. Breathing heavily, Elliot stood over him. "Why, Henry? Why betray everything?" Henry laughed weakly. "You still don't get it. The Order isn't about power, it's about survival. The Veiled One. It's already here." Cliffhanger Elliot returned to the main hall, but the hooded figures, the dagger, and the book were gone. Only the bloodstains remained. As dawn broke, Elliot limped onto the road, his wound aching and his mind racing. The Order had infiltrated every corner of his life. Henry's final words echoed in his mind. The Veiled One is already here. To be continued.